Red Bull has just reignited the silly season with a bombshell. Liam Lawson is joining their squad. But hold on, this isn't just about Ricciardo's potential exit or Perez's uncertain future. There's a storm brewing behind the scenes, one that Red Bull might not be able to weather. Now, what if Mercedes has been silently preparing to disrupt the entire balance? Red Bull has been busy denying any hints of Verstappen's departure while facing Mercedes' relentless pursuit. Yet in a twist that nobody saw coming, Red Bull might finally be acknowledging the need for a plan B. And here's the real kicker: could George Russell be the missing piece in this unexpected puzzle? The stakes have never been higher, and the F1 world is watching every move. Stay tuned as we dive into the chaos that could redefine the future of Formula One. As the motorsport world digests the news, whispers about what this means for Red Bull are already circulating. The team has spent much of 2024 dismissing the notion that Verstappen might leave, all while dealing with Mercedes' open flirtation with their star driver. But recent developments suggest Red Bull might have finally, albeit subtly, accepted the need for a backup plan. And who holds the key to this plan? It could be none other than Mercedes. In an unexpected twist, Red Bull's team principal, Christian Horner, dropped a significant hint about their future strategy. He strongly suggested that George Russell could become a prime target for Red Bull in 2026. So why Russell, you ask? Horner believes it would be foolish to overlook the fact that Russell's contract with Mercedes expires at the end of next year. This is no small statement. It suggests that Red Bull might be considering life beyond Verstappen, something that seemed unthinkable just a year ago. But look, we're not afraid to explore the possibilities. Horner revealed to Sky Sports, George Russell's contract is up at the end of next year, and we'd be foolish not to consider that. And his words have sent shockwaves to the paddock, sparking questions about Red Bull's true intentions. It's clear that Red Bull isn't just looking for any driver, they're aiming for a talent that can fill the enormous shoes of Verstappen if the need arises. Initially, Russell was expected to step up as Mercedes leader after Lewis Hamilton's eventual retirement. But things took a turn when Hamilton's surprise move to Ferrari for 2025 was confirmed earlier this year, seemingly solidifying Russell's position at Mercedes. However, if the new rules in 2026 turn Mercedes back into a championship contender, Russell may find himself in a situation where he can't capitalize on that success. Assuming Mercedes' pursuit of Verstappen pays off, they'll face a three-way dilemma for their two coveted seats. Mercedes team principal Toto Wolff isn't one to shy away from stirring up the narrative either. So when questioned about Russell's future, he was quick to shut down the idea of any impending change. George is a Mercedes driver and has been forever, hopefully will be forever. We have a long contract with him, Wolff remarked, making it clear that Mercedes has no intention of letting go of their rising star. These two are our future, Wolff added, referring to Russell and the young prodigy Kimi Antonelli. But the reality isn't as simple as Wolff's confident words suggests. While Mercedes is committed to its current lineup, public records indicate that Russell's deal with the team might not be as long-term as it appears. Russell inked a new contract in 2023, which reportedly lasts until the end of 2025. With Mercedes eyeing Antonelli for an F1 seat after a mere season in Formula 2, the buzz is growing. Could Antonelli and Verstappen form the dream team Mercedes has been plotting? Wolff, always strategic, has carefully navigated the driver narrative at Mercedes. He openly praised Antonelli, highlighting his potential while simultaneously eyeing Verstappen as their future ace. Although the pursuit of Verstappen is currently on hold, it's far from over. Wolff is waiting for the right moment to make another move, likely in 2026. However, this plan creates a conundrum: three drivers vying for just two seats. To make room for Verstappen, Mercedes might have to sacrifice one of their own. Despite the public bravado, Wolff is careful not to indulge in what-ifs. He insists that the driver situation won't be an issue until the 2025 season gets underway and the picture becomes clearer. Perhaps Verstappen won't even be an option. Maybe Mercedes' current drivers will prove exceptional, making it a straightforward choice to keep both and pass on Verstappen. But Russell's potential exit isn't just about his contract. The changing dynamics within Mercedes could create conditions where he no longer aligns with the team's ambitions. With Verstappen's likely move to Mercedes, Red Bull could face a serious gap in their lineup, and Russell seems like an ideal candidate to fill it. Yet, Red Bull has a problem of its own creation. While Verstappen is signed with the team until 2028, there's a growing sense that his tenure isn't as secure as it seems. Red Bull's internal power struggles, the rivalry between Verstappen and team dynamics, and their underwhelming performance in 2024 have all contributed to this uncertainty. But even more concerning is Verstappen's apparent frustration with the politics and distractions surrounding Formula One. This weariness could hasten his departure from the sport, leaving Red Bull without a contingency plan. Whether Verstappen leaves for another team or simply walks away from F1, Red Bull needs a reliable lead driver, a role they currently lack a fitting candidate for. While Horner hinted at the possibility of bringing Russell in to race alongside Verstappen, the reality might be quite different. The only way Russell makes sense for Red Bull is if he's the successor to Verstappen's throne. Red Bull has always been cautious about pairing Verstappen with someone who could truly challenge him. Russell, with his driving skills and strong personality, isn't the type to settle for second place. Add to that the occasional clashes between the two on the track, and it becomes clear that this pairing could be anything but harmonious. Therefore, Red Bull's interest in Russell seems more like a plan B, a backup, if Verstappen decides to leave. The idea of Red Bull considering life after Verstappen is groundbreaking. While Russell has his critics, there's no denying his talent. His qualifying performances have been consistently impressive, and he has often outshone Lewis Hamilton on Saturdays. Although Russell has had his share of high-profile mistakes and aggressive race strategies, he has also shown flashes of brilliance that mark him as a seasoned race winner. Having the right car, he could be a world championship contender. If Verstappen were to exit suddenly, none of Red Bull's current options would match up to Russell's level. But right now, Red Bull faces uncertainty within its own ranks, let alone the evolving driver market over the next 18 months. They're not in a position to make immediate decisions. However, if Russell becomes a race-winning driver without a contract by 2026, ignoring him would be more than just an oversight, it would be outright negligence. But before any moves are made, Russell has to prove his worth. When Mercedes replaced Valtteri Bottas with Russell for the 2022 season, the plan was clear: Russell would serve under Hamilton, learning the ropes before taking on the team leader role. But with Hamilton's unexpected departure to Ferrari in 2025, Russell's timeline for leadership has been accelerated. Now he must demonstrate that he's truly ready for this immense responsibility. Doubts linger, though. During the 2024 Canadian Grand Prix, Russell showed his potential by securing pole position, but he also made mistakes that cost him. His on-track maneuvers, while sometimes spectacular, are occasionally flawed, highlighting a tendency to overreach in critical moments. Russell has showcased his overtaking skills, like his bold move on Hamilton in Canada. However, his aggressive style often leads to meets, whether it's colliding with Verstappen in Las Vegas last season, bumping into Mick Schumacher's car in Singapore in 2022, or failing to cleanly overtake Oscar Piastri's McLaren. His race performances have, at times, been a bit too chaotic for someone striving to join F1's elite tier. The incident in Singapore, where Russell crashed out while in podium contention, raised concerns about his tendency to overextend himself. But even with Mercedes, a team that should consistently be associated with success, Russell sometimes seems to push beyond his own limits, risking errors. His remarkable performance in winning the 2022 Brazilian Grand Prix and nearly clinching victory during his debut with Mercedes in 2020 demonstrated his capability to deliver under pressure. The raw pace he possesses, especially in qualifying, is undeniable, but is he leaving enough room for strategic thinking? Critics say he might be using too much mental bandwidth on pure speed, leaving little space for broader race management. But Russell's apparent struggle to manage his tires during races has been another point of criticism, especially when compared to Hamilton's masterful tire management skills. In the 2023 Singapore race, Russell's crash was partly blamed on his relentless pursuit of the leaders, while Hamilton drove more conservatively. Yet some of this could be attributed to sheer frustration with Mercedes' ongoing struggle to reach their desired level of performance. The 2024 season might be Russell's last chance to solidify his place as Mercedes' future leader. If he can't step up, he risks being replaced, especially if Wolff continues to pursue Verstappen. Red Bull, on the other hand, is also watching closely. Russell's availability in 2026, if Mercedes doesn't lock him in with a long-term deal, could be the perfect opportunity for Red Bull to secure a strong replacement for Verstappen. But everything hinges on Russell's performance in the upcoming season. He needs to show he can lead a team effectively, not just in qualifying but across the entirety of race weekends. This is a high-stakes moment, not just for Russell but for the entire Formula One landscape. When Mercedes decided to bring Russell on board for the 2022 season, they envisioned a future where he would gradually take over as the team's leader. Hamilton's unexpected move to Ferrari in 25 has now accelerated the timeline. The big question is, Has Russell done enough to convince both Mercedes and the broader F1 community that he's ready for the role? Concerns were raised at the 2024 Canadian Grand Prix. Although Russell qualified on pole and led the race, he made errors that cost him the victory. And his tendency to overstep in crucial moments has surfaced time and again. While he's proven he can pull off stunning overtakes, he sometimes fails to maintain the consistency needed at the highest level. Russell's performance in the 2022 Brazilian Grand Prix showed he has what it takes to handle pressure. But the truth is, he still has to overcome his racing flaws if he hopes to secure his future at Mercedes and ward off any challenge from Verstappen. Will 2024 be his year to step up as the true team leader Mercedes hoped for? Or will he be pushed aside as Wolff's pursuit of Verstappen reignites? The F1 world is waiting, and only time will reveal if Russell can seize this moment and shape his destiny.